Okay, so I promised to give my part 2 of questions to ask him before you say I do. So here's part 2 of it, right? If you want to watch the part 1, I have put the link in the description. Questions to ask him before you see I do. Here we go. Number 1 question you should ask in the part 2 series is, are we going to run a joint account or are we going to run an individual accounts? How are we going to do our finances? So it's about finances. You need to know your spouse. You need to know does he have any financial liability? Does he owe any debts? Okay. The same thing, he needs to know that about you as well. Do you owe any debt? What are your financial liabilities and your assets? Okay, so this is when you're already courting and you're getting ready to get married. Okay, so you just know what you're going into and what are your responsibilities financially. Okay, that's the first question. You want to know his financial liability. You want to know his responsibilities financially, like his bills, and then you want to know if he has any debt that he's owing and all of that. And he also wants to know the same about you. Okay. So that's the first one. Number 2, still on finances, you want to know how you prefer your finances to be. Like, there are now relationships where you hear people say our responsibilities will be 50-50. Well, the one we're going to run our home, you bring 50% of our bills, the other person brings 50%. So get to know his perspective about it. And then you can just discuss to get to know, okay, this is what we are doing, this is how we prefer it. And then you can also find out if you want us to, want 2 of you to run a joint account, or if you prefer, I think I mentioned that in the first one. So it's still important to know this. If all about finances, okay, the first one is the liabilities, and then the second one, now this question is talking about how you're going to run your home, responsibilities. Are you going to share 50-50? Is it going to be anyone with the money can run a project, can do things on behalf of the family, or how are you going to do it? So this is it, coming together to plan how you prefer to run your expenses and your bills together. So we go to number 3. Okay, so for number 3, you ask, can I keep the opposite sex as a friend? Okay, we're beginning to see all these bestie things. I have a bestie and all of that. So you need to know if I have a female friend as a male, or if I have a male friend as a female and I'm getting married right now, or even my friends that are same sex. How are we going to relate to our friends after marriage? Are we allowed to keep our friends the way we have kept them? Or is there anything that's going to change about that? So you need to know, hey, if I have a bestie male friend, can he visit me just to say hello? And if you have a female bestie friend or a female bestie, can she come around the house and all of that? So you need to set boundaries at this point to know, okay, we're getting married, no more besties, I'm now your bestie, or how are you going to run it? That also is important. Number 3. I move down to number 4, to ask about travels, okay, still around friends. If we have like an all girls outing, am I permitted to go and all of that? You're just getting to know this person, okay? Because there are questions you ask that will let you know the kind of person you're dealing with, and there are other questions that will not really dig deep. So these kind of questions, they kind of tell you their philosophies, the way they say things, the way they perceive things, their values, okay? So that's why you ask this kind of question. So this question is saying, am I permitted to go on an all girls hangout as a newlywed? Okay, newlywed, my friends have a party, or maybe we have an outing together just to hang out. And if that's your lifestyle before now, are you permitted to keep those friends and keep hanging out? And is he, as a male, as a man also permitted. Remember, as you're asking, know that you might get your own questions back in the same order. So be prepared with your answers before you make such questions known, okay? Before you ask the question, have your own answers as well handy. So that's for number 4. We move to number 5. Are you okay with me using a crutch? How soon can I get back to work? If I'm a full-time, if I'm a worker, I work in an office, or does that mean that immediately I start, I'm going to have to resign? So you need to put this down. You need to come up with plans ahead. You hear people get married and then you start saying things like you can't keep a baby in a crèche, you can't have a housemaid, and then this woman never planned her life to be down. Excuse me. So this woman never planned her life to be like that. She wanted a life where she can work, earn money and all of that. So this is time for you to ask the question, what if I have a baby? Can I take my baby to crèche after my maternity leave and resume work, or do I have to stay and babysit? Or ever, am I permitted to still go back to work while I'm nursing a baby? So these are the things you need to find out. This will help you. It's not like any answer you get will make you say, okay, I'm no more doing or anything, but you're just getting to know your partner more, and you are getting to get familiar with each other and the way you see things, and then from there you can create like a middle ground where both of you meet, where it works perfectly for the two of you. Okay, so move to the next question. Question number 6. Are you going to encourage my growth? Okay, will you be my number 1 fan? Will you encourage my growth? And then after you have asked that question, the next question following it, which is like the part B of the question, is how are you going to do that? How are you going to make me better than you are meeting me now? What are your plans for my growth as a human? What's your contribution? What are you going to do to make me better than you met me? Okay, because you're meeting me now, maybe I have a BSc, you're meeting me now, maybe I'm in so what are you going to do to make my life better? Or what are you going to do to contribute to my growth in my career and in my life in general? Are you going to be my supporter? Are you going to be my backbone, my number 1 fan? And if you're going to be that, how are you going to do it? Okay, it doesn't mean that anything he says is going to be the final, but it's good to know where he's coming from, so that nothing will take you by surprise. Okay, you'll be thinking that you're all together on one page. You never know what the other person thinks about a particular issue. So that's why you need to ask this question. Number 7 and the last one for this part 2. And if you want me to give part 3, drop it in the comment section that you want a part 3 of this. But for now, we'll be stopping with part 2. So the final question for this part is, what if I lose my figure 8 after childbirth? Sounds funny, right? Well, this is a question that you can ask. Just ask. It helps you to know your man. Like I said, most of these questions is just to know their perspective, the perspective of your man or your partner. So this can be asked to say, okay, what if I lose my shape after childbirth? How are you going to take it? Are you going to be supportive, or what's your take about women losing their shape after childbirth? What's your take? So I think we are now at number 7. Thank you so much for watching. Check the link below and watch part 1 of this series. Thank you so much, and God bless you.